Arcane Season 2 was packed with musical moments. It played a huge part in telling the story and gave a lot of context to either where the characters were emotionally or what was happening inside of the city, whether that be the Undercity or Piltover. For example, in Paint the Town Blue, that scene gave us a lot of context to what was happening in the Undercity and the dissatisfaction and pain that was being caused now that they were under martial law. Not to say they were doing well beforehand, but it was definitely a more active pain that was being caused to the people. Either way, in this video, I want to go through the top 5 songs in Season 2. Keep in mind this is a subjective list, but here's what I'm looking for. How well did the song represent the scene? How well did the scene enhance the story? And did this leave an emotional mark on me? But with that, let's get started with the list. Alright, I'm going to try to pronounce this and I'm sorry in advance. At number 5, Ma meilleure ennemie. And for any French person that might have clicked on this video, I'm so sorry for that pronunciation, but I want you to know that I tried my best. I know this is a big episode for Echo, but Powder is the one that really makes me emotional in this scene. Seeing this alternate universe where Jinx doesn't exist and Powder is allowed to live a life where she doesn't see herself as a curse to the people around her will never fail to make me tear up. You're the best thing to ever happen to me, but also the worst thing to ever happen to me. On that day when I met you, maybe I would rather that it never happened to me. So we can talk about this lyric from Echo's perspective because that's pretty much where the song is coming from. To know a life you will never be able to live. I mean, how would you feel about that? To enter this universe where he's happily in a relationship with Powder and her descent into madness never happened. Echo saw the whole timeline for Jinx's descent and that must have been painful to witness. There's a reason Powder is on the wall in the underground. So to know this different life and to know that you are going to leave it for the betterment of your own universe has got to take a great will to walk away from. The worst of all blessings, the best of all curses. And I mean, my feelings mean nothing to you, clearly, do they, Arcane? Number 4, Wasteland. The first time we hear the song is Season 2, Episode 9. Jinx has come to the decision that the best way to end the cycle is to just end it all. She's destroying every place she has ever known and held emotional significance to, and is about to end it all with a rather similar looking, not an identical looking monkey to the one we saw in Season 1, Episode 3. Let's talk about some of the lyrics really quickly. I know it's my fault that I'm here all alone. This world is a wasteland. Please let me go. After Isha's death, there was nothing left for Jinx to hold on to at this point. This belief in the idea that she is nothing but a curse to the people around her, and only death will follow her and the people she cares for. So to Jinx, this was the only real solution that made sense to her in the moment, especially after the conversation she had in the jail cell with Silco in her head, which was essentially Jinx affirming her own beliefs to herself. Because as much as I dislike Silco, I don't think he would ever tell Jinx to off herself. Even after Vi comes to save her from the cell, she doesn't accept the help because she feels she will never be any good to anyone, and quite literally says so.
There's no good version of me.
The second time we hear the song is at the end of Season 2, Episode 9, when Jinx sacrifices herself to save Vi. The absolute silence into Wasteland playing again was completely brutal. Also, if you haven't seen the music video for this on the Riot Games music YouTube channel, I highly recommend it. Number 3, Ashes and Blood. Come on, were we expecting the song not to be on the list? Not only was it the big fight between Vi and Jinx, but also the beginning of the mystery with the Hex Core. I can play any part of the song and it will feel like you're ascending. You walk along the edge of danger, and it will change you. We can relate this part to pretty much any character in this scene, but right now I want to relate it specifically to Caitlyn. I think it really tells where she is going from this point onwards into the second act. She already released the Grey into the Undercity, which was clearly crossing a line, and she continues to cross every line possible to get the revenge she wants with the Jinx. By the end of the episode, we see the full change come to fruition. Hell, even before the end of the episode, she was willing to shoot at Jinx, even though there was a little kid that could have been caught in the crossfire very easily. Yeah, she had a lot of confidence that she was going to hit the shot, but who's to say that that was going to be the case, you know? You summon storms, you play with nature, now watch it hurt you. Why would you want to shape the world in your hands? You will never make it through. This line plays during the fight between Jinx and Vi, but I think it can really tell a lot about the Hextech plotline specifically. Hextech is quite literally changing the landscape of the world as they know it, and it is bound to have its consequences, which it clearly does. Why would you let this voice set in your head? It is meant to destroy you. I'm putting this one in for Jinx and Vi. These two sisters that hold so much love for one another, but now stand at opposite sides in what is supposed to be a fight to the death. They only see the worst in each other at this moment. Jinx sees Vi become an enforcer and truly abandoning her by doing so, and Vi sees Jinx as a person that can't be redeemed and must be taken out. It does nothing but destroy themselves. Catch the fire burning out your soul. Just make it die, or you will turn it all to ashes and blood. Now this one goes out to everyone in the scene. They are all on the precipice of great change, and it looks like most of it is about to be for the worst. In the words of Jace,
what have we done?
Number 2, Isha's song. For a girl who doesn't say a word throughout her entire time in the season, this song feels like she's saying everything that's in her heart, especially the last couple of lines in the song. Stop searching, give me a hug, just quietly forget, I'm fine the way I am. Or, we can talk about these lines. Blow away the dark clouds with that blue in my heart. Even if the world is full of desolation, we can lift our heads and see the same moon. First of all, with the blue in my heart, how about we all shut the fuck up? The build-up in this part of the song just fuels the emotion of what is probably Isha yelling out her feelings through her final action. As the scene plays out Jinx's and Isha's time together, we are reminded of the bond these two shared. Isha allowed Jinx to be a big sister, and Isha found a light within Jinx that inspired her not only to be a part of the revolution of Zaun, but also take great action to protect the person she loves. Granted, from Jinx's perspective of herself, this only made her think that all she ever was a curse that caused Isha her life. Number 1, The Line. I mean, his body was literally on the line now because his entire being changed, am I right? Okay, no, but seriously, I mean, I really wish I could talk about this song specifically because it's one of my favorites in the series, but every time I have seen this scene, it just leaves me speechless. Seeing the change in Victor physically and him changing quote-unquote all those willing was so melancholic and just sad. Even the last scene with his full change into the final line of the song doesn't feel like a triumph, but more like an, oh no, I can't believe we got here. Also, seeing Vander lose all of his memories because he is being completely erased in this so-called ascension never fails to bring tears to my eyes. And really, the whole song is pretty self-explanatory. Victor's making the decision that clearly makes him the final antagonist of the series. I know I spoke a lot more about the other songs on the list, but this one placement honestly just feels right, and that's why I put it at number 1. Told you it was a biased list.